Hello everyone, Carson here, and in this video, I'm gonna be solving Wordle number 1339 and New York Times Hard Sudoku for February 17th, 2025. So let's get this video started with Wordle number 1339. I'm gonna start with the word drip. Okay, placed the R as the second letter, and I also know that I is another letter, which goes somewhere else in this word, because it's yellow. So I could go fourth. Now, it could be a double consonant. Sorry, it could be a double vowel, AI, and it could also start with a double consonant. So let's try train and see what happens. Damn. Maybe trail? I mean, I think that's the only other word. Alright, trail is today's Wordle answer. Got the 50-50 wrong, which is kinda unfortunate. I could have got it in 2 tries, but again, it's Wordle. You can really never predict Wordle answers, so even that, I'm still very satisfied with the results today. I'll definitely take that. Got it in 3 tries, so yeah, that's quite good, I would say. So I got today's Wordle answer trail in 3 tries. This is Wordle number 1339. Let's now move on to New York Times Sudoku. Again, today's February 17th, 2025. Let's start the hard difficulty Sudoku for today. These 8s force the digit 8 into one of these 2 cells in block 2. These 8s point down. Alright, so these 4s point left. This 4 points up and this 4 points left. So in block 2, the digit 4 is forced into row 1. So these 4s point left. I also see that in column 2, the digit 4 is missing. This cell sees 4 from block 2. This cell sees 4. The cell sees 4, and this cell also sees another 4. But 4 still has to go somewhere in this column, because it's still missing. So in column 2, the digit 4 is forced into one of these 2 cells. Again, because all other open cells in this column see another 4. So 4 can only go into one of these 2 cells for the column. And now, both 4 and 8 are limited to these 2 cells only. In order to fit both 4 and 8 into column 2, I have to make these 2 cells reserved for 4 and 8. So this 4-8 pair eliminates all other digits from these 2 cells. Now this 3 points down, and 3, of course, cannot go into the 4-8 pair. So in block 7, the digit 3 is forced into column 1. So 3 in block 4 goes into one of these 2 cells. Okay, this 9 points right. Oh, we also have this 9. So actually, the digit 9 in block 5 is forced into this cell. These 9s point up, and this cell sees another 9. So in block 3, the digit 9 is forced into this cell. These 9s point down, and this cell sees another 9, and these 9s point left. These 2 cells form a 4-9 pair. As you can see in block 1, the digits 4 and 9 are missing. These 4s and 9s force both 4 and 9 into these 2 cells only. So in order to fit both 4 and 9 into block 1, I have to make these 2 cells reserved for 4 and 9. So this 4-9 pair eliminates all other digits from these 2 cells. This 2 points left, this 2 points up, and 2 cannot go into the 4-9 pair. So in block 1, the digit 2 is forced into this cell. 2 in block 4 goes into one of these 2 cells, and these 2s point right. So this 4-9 pair means that the other 3 open cells in block 1 contain 1, 5, and 7 because they are the other missing digits of block 1. This cell sees 5 and this cell sees 1. So they go like this. Now, this 4-9 pair also works for row 2 because they line up in the same row. Both cells involved in the 4-9 pair lie in the same row. So it applies to the row as well. So this 4-9 pair means that the other three open cells in row 2 form a 1-2-7 triple. This cell sees 2. This cell sees 1 and 7. So it can only be a 2, making the other cells 1 and 7. Okay, actually, similarly, in column 2, this 4-8 pair makes the other three open cells in this column a 1-3-7 triple. These ones point left. Okay, these 3s point right. These 5s point right. Oh, now, in column 9, 5 is a missing digit. These two open cells see another 5. So in column 9, the digit 5 is forced into one of these two cells. And because 5 is guaranteed into one of these two cells, no other open cells in block 3 can contain a 5. Even, um, even if it might seem that 5 can go into other open cells in block 3, 5s are guaranteed into one of these two cells for column 9. For column 9, we know that 5 must go into one of these two cells. So 5's being here, eliminate 5 from the other three open cells in block 3. Hmm. Um, Alright, so what digits can go into this cell? This cell, okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. Alright, this cell sees 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that I've eliminated 5 from this cell. It also sees 6, 8, and 9. Oh, so interesting. This cell can only contain either 1 or 7. And now if you look at block 3, there are two open cells which only contain two certain digits. In this case, these two open cells only contain 1 and 7. Let's double check. This cell sees 2, 3, 4. I've eliminated 5 from this cell. It also sees 6, 8, and 9. So this cell can only contain either 1 or 7. And you can tell by row 2 that this cell also can only contain 1 or 7. So we've proven that these two cells form a 1-7 pair. Because I have to keep both 1 and 7 in these two cells to avoid empty cells. Because empty cells would break the Sudoku puzzle. So to avoid empty cells, I must keep both 1 and 7 in these two cells, because they are the only possible digits which can go into these two cells. So this 1-7 pair eliminates 1s and 7s from all other open cells in this block. So actually, it means that the other three open cells in block 3 contain 3, 5, and 6. They form a 3, 5, 6 triple. Now, whatever digit that goes into this cell will be the same as this one. So, if these are 1s, well, yeah, if these are 1s, then this becomes a 7, and if these are 7s, this becomes a 1. And they end up here. Okay, well, um, okay, in row 5, 8 is a missing digit. These three cells, C, 8. So in row 8, in row 5, the digit 8 is forced into one of these two cells. Hmm. Alright, let's just fill out some missing digits. So these four cells contain 3, 6, 7, and 9. 3, because of this, 3 is forced into one of these two cells. 6 is forced into one of these two cells. We have 7 in one of these three cells, and 9 in one of these three cells. Alright, what about column 9? 3, 5, 6, and 8 are the missing digits. 3, 5, 6, 8, but this cell C is 5 and 6, so it can only contain 3 or 8. This cell C is 5, so it's 3, 6, or 8. Okay, in column 4, 2, 4, 7, and 8 are missing digits. This cell sees 2 and 8, so it can only contain 4 or 7. This cell sees 4, so it's 2, 7, or 8. This cell also sees 4, so it's 2, 7, or 8 only. This cell sees 2 and 7, so it can only contain either 4 or 8. Oh, interesting. There is a 4-8 pair in row 9. Just to double check, of course, this cell can only contain 4 or 8 because of the 4-8 pair. And this cell sees 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So indeed, it can only contain either 4 or 8. And now in row 9, we have two open cells which only contain two certain digits. In this case, these two open cells only contain 4 and 8. So I have to keep both 4 and 8 in these two cells. If I don't, then one of at least one of these two cells would become empty, and that will break the Sudoku puzzle. So to avoid empty cells, I must keep both 4 and 8 in these two cells, because they are the only possible digits which can go in these two cells. So this 4-8 pair eliminates 4s and 8s from all other open cells in this row. In other words, this 4-8 pair means that the other 5 open cells in this row contain 1, 3, 5, 6, and 9. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. Um, these two cells C6 and 9, so they are down to 1, 3, 5. Oh, but I see a problem with this cell being an 8. Okay, so we know that these two cells form a 4-8 pair. So do these two cells. So this cell is the common cell for both pairs. So whatever digit, no matter if it's 4 or 8, whichever one that goes into this cell, it cannot repeat here. So it must go into the other cell. So these two cells have the same digits. If these two cells are 4, then that's perfectly fine because we have these 4s. But if these two cells are 8, then these 8s point right. But I cannot place 8 into this cell because it already sees an 8. So actually, these two cells cannot be 8. They must be 4s. Another way to prove this is that in row 7, these two cells see 8. So 8 is forced into row 7 in block 8. 8 being here eliminates 8 from this cell. So either way, I can prove that this cell ends up in 4, so just this cell, and this is an 8. Alright, this 8 points down, and this cell cannot contain 8. Even if I have not placed this 8, we know that this cell cannot contain 8 because of the 4-8 pair. Either way, the digit 8 in block 9 is forced into row 8. So actually, that also eliminates 8 from this cell. So there are many, many ways to prove ways to place digits. So yeah. Okay. Does that help? Oh, this cell now cannot contain a 4. So in block 2, the digit 4 is forced into the cell. Okay, now, in column 4, 2, 7, and 8 are the missing digits. This cell now sees 2 and 8, so indeed it can only be 7, making the other two open cells a 2-8 pair. Now this 7 points left, and 7 cannot go into the 4-9 pair. So in block 1, the digit 7 is forced into the cell, which makes these two cells 1 and this cell a 7. These two cells form a 6-8 pair, which makes this a 5. Oh, sorry, I meant to eliminate 5 from this cell. Alright, so after placing the 7, I can place the 5 and 1 up here, leaving a 3-7 pair in column 2, and the cell ends up a 1. We also have 5 and 6 as the missing digits of block 4. 5 goes into one of these two cells. Oh, so they form a 4-5 pair. As you can see in block 4, the digits 4 and 5 are missing. These 4s and 5s force both 4 and 5 into these two cells only. So in order to fit both 4 and 5 into block 4, I have to make these two cells reserved for 4 and 5. So this 4-5 pair eliminates all other digits from these two cells. So 2 can no longer go into this cell. I can force the digit 2 into this cell in block 4. Now we have 5 open cells left in block 4. We have a 3-7 pair as well as a 4-5 pair. So there is only one open cell not involved in any of the pairs, and this cell contains the only other missing digits not involved in the pairs, which is 6. Alright, now this 6 points down, this 6 points left, so 6 in block 7 is forced into this cell. This cell now sees 5, so 4 and 5 like this. This 4 makes this 9, 4, 7, 3, and 9. Okay, these 6s point right, and this cell sees another 6. So in block 6, the digit 6 is forced into this cell, which makes up here 3 and 6. Alright, now in row 5, 7 is a missing digit. These two cells see another 7. So in row 5, the digit 7 is forced into this cell, which makes this 3. Am I missing something very obvious? Okay, let's look at row 4. In row 4, 2, 5, and 7 are the missing digits. So this LC is 7, so it's 205, 205, 7, and this LC is 5, so it's 27. These 9s force the digit 9 into this cell in block 8. 1, 3, and 5 are the missing digits of row 9. This cell sees a 5. Okay, so whichever digit that goes into this cell cannot repeat in these 3 open cells. So it can only go here, which is 2 or 7. And we have a... Oh, well, these 2 cells already form a 3-8 pair based on row 5. But this 3 resolves it, which makes this 8. This 3 points down, and this 3 points right. So in block 9, the digit 3 is forced into this cell, making this 1, 5, 2, 7, 7, 5, 1, 2, 8, 2. We have 6 and 7 in these 2 cells, but this cell sees 7, so 7 and 6 like this. 6, 8, 8, 3, and this Sudoku puzzle is complete. Alright, I finished today's New York Times hard Sudoku in around 20 minutes, so I would say this Sudoku puzzle is just the right difficulty. I could see it being a bit tricky, but still, I'll go over the key spots as a quick summary. I do think that this Sudoku puzzle is approachable. Don't want to say it's quite straightforward, because there were a bit tricky spots. I'll talk about them right now. I'll summarize them. So, towards the beginning, there was the 4-8 pair in block 7 or column 2. This 4-8 pair down here applied to both block 7 and column 2. And soon after, I spotted the 4-9 pair in block 1, or row 2. This 4-9 pair up here applies to both block 1 and row 2. Alright, later on, there was the 1-7 pair in block 3. The 1-7 pair in block 3, which did help reduce some possibilities. And I feel like the most key of all things you need to spot is the 4-8 pair in row 9. The 4-8 pair in row 9, which made these 2 cells 8 because they made these 2 cells a 4 because they could not contain 8. Either by rejecting this option because this cell cannot be an 8, so they could only be 4s, or just by proving that 8 in row 7 can only go into these 3 cells, so these 2 cells cannot be 8. So I feel like this was the most key spot of all. And I think that's about it, because this 4-8 pair, after it became resolved, it placed the 7 up here, and most of the top 3 rows got done, especially after I placed the 7. All of these just collapsed around the Sudoku puzzle. So yeah, I feel like this 4-8 pair was the most key out of all. So yeah, if you have any other questions or difficulties, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll be glad to reply you. Hopefully this video helped. Today is February 17th, 2025. In this video, I've solved Wordle number 1339 and New York Times hard Sudoku for today. See you all next time. Bye!